Hello everyone, let's look at expanding single brackets. Key thing here is to understand what it means by expand or even multiply out. It just means they want you to get rid of those brackets. So let's look at this example here. We'll do this one in a bit of detail to show you in a visual way, and then I'll show you the very quick and easy way to do this. If we look at this, A multiplied by, remember there's no sign there, that just means multiplied by, A multiplied by B plus C. If you think about that, it's the same as finding the area of a rectangle. Let's treat the A as the length, let's treat the B plus C as the width, length times width. And that is the formula for the area of a rectangle. So let's treat the length A as this side here, and the length B plus C as the long side. So rather than writing B plus C, what I'm going to do, I'm going to split this, and this part here we will call B, and this section here we will call C. Now the area of this section is just A multiplied by B. Length times width. A multiplied by B is just AB. So the area of this section is just known as AB. If we look at just this section here, we have now got this length, which is A, and this width, which is C. A multiplied by C is just AC. So the total area of this rectangle is AB plus AC. Now, as you can see, we've now got an expression with no brackets in it. We have gone from A multiplied by B plus C in brackets to AB plus AC. We won't want to do that every time, so there's quite an easy way of dealing with this, but that's the principle. Let's look at that question again. A multiplied by B plus C. We're going to multiply the term outside of the bracket by each term in the bracket. So we're going to multiply firsts, A times B is just AB, and then we're going to multiply the outsides. So that becomes AC. Now notice that's a positive A times a positive B, so you get a positive AB. That is a positive A multiplied by a positive C, so you get a positive AC. And as you can see, they're the same. So I did say you're multiplying the firsts, and I then said you are multiplying the outsides. So we're going to use the term faux, and we'll come back to this later on as well. So if you're multiplying single brackets, just remember the faux, multiply the firsts, then the outsides. Let's have a look at these and we'll see how quick and easy they really are. So here we go, remembering faux, firsts, outsides. Multiplying the firsts, we're expanding and simplifying. Expand just means to get rid of the brackets, take it out of the brackets. Firsts, 3x, 3 times x is 3x. Outsides, positive times a positive is a positive, 3 times y is 3y. Next one, remember that's a positive times a positive is a positive, 3 times 2 is 6, that's 6a. Now, a positive times a negative is a negative, and outsides, 3 times 5 is just 15. Done. P times q is just pq. Positive times a negative is a negative, p multiplied by r is just pr. That's as simple as it goes. This next one, a times 2b is 2ab. Now, when you're dealing with algebra, you normally put the letters in order of the alphabet, so A first, and then A times C is just AC, they're both positive, so it's a positive AC. Remembering firsts and outsides, multiply the firsts, multiply the outsides. Very simple so far. Look at the lines here, it just makes you realise that you're doing each one. Let's move forward. Again, I've changed the wording to multiply out this time. It means the same thing, so here goes. X times x, x squared. X times y, in this case they're both positive, is just xy. When dealing with this sort of thing, what I would say to you is do it in order of signs first, then numbers, then letters. So the signs are both positive, so we don't put a plus here in this case. 3 times 4 is 12. A times B is AB. Do the outsides, both positive, so that's a positive. 3 times 2 is 6, and that is just 6A. Signs, minus times a positive is a minus. 2a. Doing the outside, signs, minus times a positive is a minus, 2 times 5 is 10. That's it, leave it like that. Signs, again a negative, 5 times 2 is 10, b times c is just bc. Do the signs first, a minus times a positive is a negative, 5ab. Finally, now remember that is to the power of 1. If you're multiplying indices, so in other words they've got the same base number, you add the index number, so 1 add 2 is 3, so that becomes x to the power of 3. So now you multiply the signs, a positive multiplied by a negative is a negative, 2xy. Notice I put the x before the y. Let's take this one step further. Here we go. We're now going to multiply out and simplify. In this case, you'll see we've got the brackets and we've got an extra term. We've got the brackets and we've got an extra expression here. So we're going to look at dealing with these down the page rather than across. We still use the faux, the firsts and outsides. So 2 times 4 is 8. That's 8a. That's plus 4. And there we put this component right on the end. We bolt this on the end. We do not multiply it by any of this. So now we simplify. We have got 8a minus 3a. We're collecting like terms. 8 minus 3 is 5. That's 5a. There's no other numbers on their own, so it's just 5a plus 4. In this case, we work down the page again. We expand this, and then we simplify. 5a plus 10b plus 3a plus 3b. So let's just collect these. So let's collect the a's. 5a plus 3a is 8a. We've got 10b plus 3b is plus 13b. Again, keep the steps very simple. Expand, expand, then simplify. Next two, you need to be careful with because of the signs and also because we haven't got a number here. So we'll look at these two a bit slower. 8a, positive times a negative is a negative, that's minus 4. In this case, you need to see that 2 is actually a negative 2. So remember that. So minus 2 multiplied by a positive a, and negative multiplied by a positive is a negative, and then we have 2a. A negative multiplied by a negative is a positive, and 2 times 3 is 6. Let's collect the terms. 8a minus 2a is 6a, and now we've got minus 4 plus 6 is just plus 2. Hopefully you can see by keeping clarity between your steps, the answers just fall out. Last one, 6x, do the outsides, plus 24. This next step is where confusion tends to happen. You need to understand that this is minus 1 multiplied by all of that. So here goes, minus 1 multiplied by 2x is minus 2x. Minus 1 multiplied by plus 4 is just minus 4. And now we just bring it together like before. 6x minus 2x is 4x. Plus 24 minus 4 is just plus 20. What looks quite challenging actually is quite simple, just by following some basic steps. First of all, expand the expression by using FO, so multiply the firsts, then the outsides, and finally simplify.